How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is RuffledRowlit, and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. We got ourselves some massive Pokemon leaks actually right now, so hey, let's take a look at them right away. Starting things off, we're going to be kicking over right here to this tweet from Billy. Billy is essentially this one leaker who's been leaking stuff, though he is a bit strange when he does it, but he came out with something of a pretty large leak that has been corroborated by a few other people as well. And if you do not know, this is essentially a riddle leak, right? Basically, he posts an image, a set of images, I guess you could say, a set of images that should connect and show us a few of the new Pokemon. Now, I know looking at this, it might not tell you anything just by looking at it from a distance. You cannot really, tell what this is all about just from looking at it at a surface. But basically, these images are supposed to hint for us what some of the new Pokemon, they could be new forms, they could be new, I don't know, they could be a lot of different things, like a lot of different versions of like these things. But basically, it's hinting at what new Pokemon we can expect to see and what they could be based on, right? So, for example, in the top here, we have this one kind of bird. I think I've seen these birds before in the context of this region, but it's like digging in the sand, and there's like a pirate-looking fella from Backrooms. We've got a weird, almost koala-looking animal. We got, I think that is like kickboxing in Thailand. I think that's very common there. We got a mountain. We got Komodo dragons. We got a weird, homunculus looking, like, weird combo of a bunch of these. A sort of little pygmy looking pig. Buddha, as far as I can tell. We've got, I forget what her name is, but she's from Overwatch. She's the one who can, Anna, I think, who can heal. A weird little creature, and then a rabbit with a moon, and a female rabbit moon Pokemon, and then a sun toucan Pokemon that's male. I guess maybe they're inverse of each other, but basically that's what he posted, right? And he didn't actually include any text with this. He just literally just put that image out, and that wasn't the only image, by the way. There's a few more things he also put out, like for example this picture right here of Lantern. And he included the message DLC1 is what he included here, which is very interesting because that might be implying that we could be getting ourselves well, in the first DLC, we might be getting ourselves a new form for Lantern, potentially. And also, he actually quote tweeted a tweet here from Icy Boy, who actually makes some really cool art. Icy Boy basically tweeted out a picture of a Psyduck in the snow, and he just did a little bit of a type of tweet. And then the second picture from Icy Boy was this, where he had Berserker and, the evolution lines of it. And then, of course, a Psyduck's face, implying that maybe we're going to be getting ourselves I don't know if necessarily if it's going to be like a caveman style, like a past version of Psyduck, but like some sort of form of Psyduck that's going to be similar to Berserker, is going to be some sort of ice type, and we're going to see evolutions for it as well. So, I don't know, man, like a paradox form, I guess, something like that maybe, or like maybe something in that vein, potentially, but who knows? We'll have to wait and see if anything comes from that. So that's what he tweeted out, and I think we've pretty much seen everything. Yeah, quack, quack, quack. So again, implication for specifically Psyduck. So Psyduck getting a new form. But we have a few great breakdowns from other people, which we're going to take a look at in a second. The other thing also was this tweet from Central Leaks, and I don't know where he got this from, but he says that this is potentially the starter evolution typings, this is a rumor, for the different starters that are going to be, of course, in Pokemon Winds and Waves. So here's what they say. Browt would be a grass ground type, Pombon a fire fairy type, and Gekwa a water psychic type. Now, I've seen the water psychic type suggestion before. I've seen the grass ground one. I think I saw that earlier too, like the other day. I think we covered it in a video as well. So there's that. It's interesting nonetheless, though. I think it's intriguing, just to say the least. Again, I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions on these typings. If they are real, how do you feel about them? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing? Do you like these typings? Do you think they could actually fit? Again, it would just be nice to know what your thoughts are, because frankly speaking, I mean, I don't know, anything's possible, and I think this could be pretty neat for typing wise. Besides, I think Browt, I don't mind Fire Fairy. I think it's a little bit meh overall, but I do think Grass Ground is the worst possible thing for Browt. I don't like that personally. And then Water Psychic sounds pretty straightforward for Gekwa. I can again see that. But again, we'll see what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. Of course, Central also shared this leak, even saying here it comes from Billy, who has become a good source. Funny how this format leaks has been a staple since Gen 7, which is true, it's been the case. Yeah, it's It's interesting. And somebody says, oh Lord, the Komodo pseudo dragon is real. He says, well, yes, we mentioned it since April. Don't know if it'll be a pseudo though. But yeah, this was an old thing about Gen 10 leaks that a new poison type gym leader is an idol performer. There's a new dragon poison Pokemon, which again, probably going to be that Komodo dragon. So yeah, but here are some of the breakdowns. So Pokemon Millennium has been looking at like all these and kind of broken down what's inside of the image, saying new alleged leaks about Gen 10 Pokemon could appear in Pokemon Winds and Waves and have surfaced online. The leaks aren't direct, they're being shared through riddles instead. Here are some of the clues that are circulating. A pirate plus Indonesian Maleo bird, a tree kangaroo. Okay, so that's what this is, a tree kangaroo. Plus Muay Thai, that's what it is, not just regular MMA, it's Muay Thai. I literally forgot what it was called. It's very late, so my brain is a bit off. Then there's 2 Komodo dragons plus a medieval dragon. Many believe this is a hint at Gen 10 pseudo-legendary. Very possible. A Chinda plus a sniper, I guess with Anna there. So some sort of sniper Achinta, that'd be interesting. A tapir and a Buddha statue, which is this little pig-looking thing. Then there's a girl plus a rabbit plus a moon, so a moon rabbit, I guess. And a boy, a hornbill, and a sun. So I guess those are supposed to be the inverts of each other, right? So that's what those things are in the image that we've seen. But there is, of course, a few theories about what they could be related to in terms of what they could be Pokemon-wise. So here is what Soul has to say about this exact topic, saying, new Pokemon Winds and Waves rumor going around from a legitimate source, but to be honest, a lot of rumors have been popping up lately, and they've been probably poking fun at people believing them. Still, it's always fun to think, what if? And one of these is legit, it's 85% legit. Breakdown. We've got the Maleo pegleg, the Maleo thingy bird and the pegleg pirate. A Brout Evo or a new Pokemon. This bird is endemic to Indonesia and is like a chicken that buries its eggs underground near volcanoes and they hatch on their own. Pirates are fan favorites and Maleo already looks like it's wearing a pirate hat. Okay. Then fighting mountain wallaby and tree kangaroo. It would be great to have a more Australian-like Pokemon since it is a neighboring country, but wallabies are also found in Indonesia. Fighting is just logical to fans, okay? Then there is Komodo Dragon Pseudo line. This is the legit one. Months back, Ball Guy suggested a Poison Dragon Pseudo is in the early timeline build. So again, that pretty much just re-emphasizes that exact same point. Then Sniper Achinda. Yes, please. I need a shooting Achinda. Fake or not, it's the same as the Wallaby found in Australia, Indonesia. Then, of course, there is a Buddhist Tapir. Both are Southeast Asian, but also redundant with Hypno and Musharna. Maybe a form of those. Also a common fan theory. Then also Pig-tailed Moon Rabbit. There is another rumored Pokemon that comes from the same source. It's meant to be the Winds and Waves Pokemon that Navi from Horizon would actually get. I'm still skeptical. And then Sun Hornbill, found in Indonesia, but I'm saving this breakdown for tomorrow because I've had a similar post in mind for months now. As you can see, this is almost all a parody on how easy it is to make a rumor for existing fan IDs, and maybe some slightly real info. So whether some of it's real or not, I think that's the point. Let's not forget their name is The Baiter right now. Well, yeah, to be fair, then again, it is Billy, but I'm going to trust Billy on this because a lot of it does seem realistic. So even if it is just from fan theories, I still feel like it is realistic fan theories, or realistic other leaks from other people. Either way, he also says they were also very heavily pushing an Ice Psychic Golduck regional evolution. Maybe they could introduce something like that in Pokopia. If it'd be Winds and Waves, I gotta admit, I adore Golduck and it needs something, but I'd be kind of disappointed because there's so many other Pokemon that should get Evos. I do think it's very possible that this could be in Winds and Waves, and a big reason I say that is because if you think about it, Winds and Waves, rather not Winds and Waves, but just Pokemon as a whole, are very, very keen. They're very, very keen to try to push for the idea of having a, how would I say this properly? Like, they're very keen to push for this idea of having like every single Kanto Pokemon getting some sort of form, right? Like that feels like something that they are very much trying to push and have been pushing for a while. So it wouldn't surprise me that much if this was the case. Again, we'll have to wait and see if anything comes from it. But yeah, so that was his breakdown. Then of course there was also our boy Light, who had a bit of a breakdown on the same thing here. Pretty much saying the same stuff we've already seen: the Maleo Pirate, the Tree Kangaroo Muay Thai, Komodo Dragon line, Echinda Sniper, Tapir Buddha, and then Moon Rabbit and Hornbill Sun. So yeah, pretty much the same stuff. I don't think we missed anything here that hasn't been mentioned in the other posts, just for now. But there is some other stuff, though, that Light has shared and posted, which I guess he's also getting from other sources, but let's wait to see, which is the first one, which I guess is his own theory, I'm guessing, but it is that are the legendaries of Winds and Waves hidden in the Japanese logo, which, keep in mind, this is very possible. They love to hide stuff inside of the designs of logos for Pokemon games. Like, it's not super uncommon that would be the case. Like, it's literally not, like, that common, like, so uncommon, sorry, that they wouldn't do that. Now, the first character in Winds and Waves is the U, a katakana character used to write the word wind in Japanese in the logo. However, it's heavily stylized. The left side resembles the head of a bird, and I guess we can see that right here, right? This one, right there, like this design on the left side here. I don't know if my mouse is showing up on the screen, but the one on the left here, you can kind of see what's going on there. And then the right side, we have a bit of a different design, though, which doesn't really inspire as much confidence in me saying that it looks like that, but either way. He says, though, that, however, it's heavily stylized. The left side resembles the head of a bird, and the upper strokes look like wings, and the lower curve could be interpreted as a tail. Could this be hinting at a Garuda-inspired legendary? Meanwhile, the first character in Wave follows a similar idea. Its left side resembles a serpent's head, and the top evokes fins, and the lower curve looks like a tail, potentially teasing a Naga-inspired counterpart. Coincidence or intentional foreshadowing? Who knows? It could be both. Could be both. Could be neither. Could be both. But again, your thoughts and opinions would be appreciated. They do love to leave hints to this kind of things from the games, like the Pokemon legendaries, features even, right? The pseudo gimmicks and stuff. They love to hint at that kind of stuff too. It's very, very, very common. It's not that crazy, right? But that is not the only thing. I think the last things we gotta look at is, of course, going to be these two posts. So the first one is potential Moonrabbit inspiration for Pokemon Winds and Waves. One possible interpretation of the Moonrabbit image is that it's a reference to the legendary Moonrabbit, one of the most iconic figures in East and Southeast Asian folklore. According to the legend, a kind-hearted rabbit sacrificed itself to feed a hungry traveler, who was actually a deity in disguise. As a reward for its compassion and selflessness, the rabbit was placed on the moon, where it is said to spend eternity preparing the elixir of immortality. If this interpretation is correct, Game Freak could be drawing inspiration from one of Asia's most beloved folktales, which could be interesting. Again, we'll have to wait and see if that actually does happen, but kind of an interesting concept. And then finally, the last thing we'll take a look at is from Gen 3 Trainer here, saying, I think there's a good chance some of the Pokemon we see in the reveal trailer for Winds and Waves could receive some sort of new form or evolution, but the cross-gen, be that cross-gen or battle gimmick, etc. Out of the Pokemon scene, which one would be the most exciting to receive? And I think a lot of people are talking about, I think Corsola is one that, I don't necessarily see that being the case, because we've already seen maybe a cross-gen Evo would be the most likely case, but I even doubt that, because Corsola already got a form before, so I don't know if that would actually happen. But I'd love to know your thoughts and opinions about that in the comment section down below. But yeah, I think for the most part, we've gone through what Billy tweeted. I don't think we missed anything from Billy Boy himself. I think we've gone through most of it, as far as I can tell. I don't think we literally missed anything in that regard. I'm going to double check here to make sure that I've posted everything and shared everything. I don't think, though, that we missed anything. I think everything's been covered so far. Of course, right now, we just have to wait and see if anything does crop up. I do see that there is some stuff that's been posted. I see this, for example. There's one more post that we haven't looked at, for example, like this one, which was also shared by Moot. And it basically shows a Milcery, I think, and then says heat, I guess. I'm assuming that maybe we're going to be seeing a version of it that's going to change. It says this, and this was Mood saying that this is an actual Pokemon leak, it seems. We have a new leaker in our midst. And then this person, whose name I'm not going to say because it is a slur, essentially, in my own language, and a few other languages in Eastern Europe. But what he basically just tweeted out was the same, I don't know, same stuff, I guess. He says, this is because the riddle is, apparently my interference in the previous thread were completely off the mark. I apologize. This is because the riddle itself appears to be entirely fabricated. As such, I've seemed to have linked things I've seen to concepts that don't actually exist, which I don't know if this person's implying something else than the other person. I don't know. There's a lot of these leakers lately, and I feel like there's a giant battle between who is right and who is wrong. And I know Moot's been sharing some of this stuff and his thoughts on it. But I don't know, man. We'll have to wait and see what comes out of it and who is right. Honest to God, I have no idea. It is just a matter of time before we find out what is real and what is not. But yeah, that's going to be pretty much it for this video, guys. If you did enjoy, drop it down, drop a like down below. And I'll be seeing you guys in, of course, the next video. So thank you all for watching, and I'll see you hopefully tomorrow if there's more stuff to cover. So peace out and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.